Welcome to this new episode. Today, we're diving into a really important topic: why patient-centered science still needs evidence. It's a bit of a balancing act between compassion and rigorous proof.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? We often hear about science being all about data and numbers. But here, the focus is on real people. Folks living with chronic pain, addiction recovery, neurological challenges, inflammation, and so on. It's science that's meant to serve actual human lives.
Exactly, and that's the starting point. Compassion. It's what drives researchers to ask, how can we help? But compassion alone isn't enough to say, this works. We need solid evidence to back up any claims.
Right, it's like compassion is the compass pointing us toward the goal, but evidence is the map that shows us the safe path to get there. Without that map, we might get lost, or worse, lead others astray.
That's a great analogy. And it's important to remember that people are more than just their conditions. In biotech and healthcare, it's easy to get caught up in biomarkers, pathways, or mechanisms, all those technical details. But a person with chronic pain isn't just a pain pathway. They have families, emotions, hopes, setbacks. So research and communication need to respect that complexity. It's not just biology, it's human experience.
And that's why communication has to be handled with care. When you're talking about serious unmet needs, people are naturally hopeful. But they also deserve honesty. Overstating what's not yet proven can create false hope, which can be harmful.
Yeah, hope is essential, but hype is dangerous. Hope inspires research, but hype risks damaging trust. So research stage companies need to be clear that their platforms are still in early stages, not proven treatments.
That's a tough line to walk, isn't it? You want to be ambitious and show promise, but you also have to be responsible and avoid making claims that aren't backed by evidence.
Absolutely, and evidence isn't just a scientific box to check. It carries ethical weight. It helps reduce false hope, identify safety risks, and guide development responsibly. Plus, it helps partners and investors make informed decisions.
So being patient-centered means being willing to validate before making claims. It's about respect for the people who might eventually be affected by the science.
Speaking of validation, the document talks about some interesting research stage platforms, like Neuroforol. It's linked to neuroinflammation and pain biology. But it's patent pending and needs a lot of testing before anyone can say it works.
Yeah, and then there's NeuroReset, which relates to addiction recovery biology. That's a really complex area because addiction involves biology, behavior, environment, and time. So they're careful to present it as a concept needing validation, not a cure.
Mycoforol is another one, inspired by fungal biology and linked to neural resilience. It's associated with neurotrophic pathways, but again, it needs pathway validation and safety checks before anyone can say it repairs the brain.
And precision peptides related to pain and recovery. Peptides are useful but require careful development, like confirming their sequence, stability, delivery, and safety.
The key point with all these is that none are proven treatments yet. They're research stage ideas that need rigorous testing.
That brings us to biomarkers. They're like measurable signs in the body that help scientists see if a treatment is engaging the right biological pathway.
Right. Things like inflammatory markers, neuroimmune signals, stress indicators, or cognitive measures. But no single biomarker proves clinical benefit on its own. They're pieces of a bigger evidence puzzle.
And safety is more than just ticking regulatory boxes. It's an ethical necessity. Early safety checks look for toxicity, off-target effects, immune reactions, and delivery risks.
So a patient-centered approach has to prioritize safety at every step. You can't claim to care about people if you're not thinking about their safety.
Another important aspect is independent validation. Internal confidence in data isn't enough. Getting external experts or labs to confirm findings builds credibility and trust.
Yeah, transparency is key. It's not about asking people to just trust the platform blindly, but about building evidence that others can test and review.
And that ties back to communication. Patient-centered communication avoids overstating results. Instead of saying, "this cures pain," the language focuses on research stage platforms associated with biological questions.
That balance between ambition and integrity is crucial. It allows for hope without misleading people.
And why does all this matter to partners and investors? Because they want to work with companies that communicate carefully and base claims on evidence. Overclaiming early can lead to scientific, legal, or reputational risks.
Careful communication signals maturity and readiness for collaboration. It shows the company is organized and serious about responsible development.
So, to wrap up, patient-centered science starts with compassion but must be guided by evidence. People deserve both hope and honesty.
The goal is to recognize unmet needs, study biology responsibly, build platforms thoughtfully, measure mechanisms carefully, and validate before making claims.
That approach respects patients, supports ethical science, and builds trust for the future.
Well said. Thanks for joining us in this deep dive. We hope this gives you a clearer picture of why evidence is essential in patient-centered science.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Take care.